And doctors were saying that it was going to be hard for her to get pregnant even with IVF, much less naturally. There was also male factor present. Her husband had some stuff going on. So she just always kept this positive attitude, and she was willing to make the internal changes, the external changes, and got pregnant naturally.
Oh, amazing. Welcome to Get Pregnant Naturally, where functional medicine and natural fertility solutions will help you get pregnant and have your baby. Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Clark. My mission is to inspire, motivate, and empower you. And most of all, I want you to wake up. So with functional medicine, we can discover what causes infertility and eventually reverse the condition. So today I'm excited to welcome Lane Harrison to the podcast. And we're going to be digging into seed cycling and how it can help balance your hormones. So I recently connected with Lane, and I love her natural approach to fertility. So I'm just going to share a little bit about her bio. So Lane has been a body worker since 2002, and she absolutely loves the message that the body can hold for us. Several years ago, she found and married the man that she never could even dream for. So she really struck gold with this one. However, building a family did not come easy for her. And after years of trying and then doctoring, then trying some more, she finally welcomed her son. And his birthday was also a sort of birth of her own. So becoming a mother awakened her so much. So she was able to find her soul purpose and help others who struggle with reproductive health. And then all through her research and studying led her to the Mercier therapy. And so it's a hands-on modality to manipulate the uterus and the ovaries. And it helps to increase blood flow, soften adhesions, and can correct malpositions of the reproductive viscera. I don't know if I pronounced that right. More studies and courses led her to the path of holistic coaching, personal coaching, and fertility coaching. And so she's a happy wife, involved mom, and doing her dream job. So definitely check her website out at harrisontherapeutics.com. So welcome to the podcast, Lane.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, awesome to have you. So if you can just share a little bit about your journey and what led you to this work.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that you start with that too, because I feel like so many of us that are working in the realm of fertility came here for a reason. And it's just, I really connect with my clients on that level because I can understand what they're going through. I was a typical person, you would decide, you get married, you decide you want to have a baby, and then you just get pregnant, right? So when that didn't happen, it really threw a wrench in my plans. I was a planning type, and I knew how many kids I'd have and what gender they would be. So it was really kind of a wake-up call to me on fertility. And I was so determined that I really had blinders on, and we went the Western medical route to start with. And it was just one thing after another. And I can remember I know they didn't know my husband's name, and very rarely did it feel like they knew my name, but they knew my chart. And I was kind of a dog on a bone, like until I got what I want, I was going to be satisfied. And it did work. We did end up doing IVF, and that's how we got our son. And I'll forever be grateful for that. But the whole experience was really sort of, for me personally, demoralizing. And I just felt disconnected from myself, and I felt lost. So I knew going through it that I wasn't the only one. Although it felt super lonely, like I was on an island, I just knew that there had to be more options. So that's kind of when I started doing research and realized that there really are a lot of options that we may have to dig in to find. And that's how I happened upon Mercier therapy. And I also happened upon just kind of something that really struck me, that was a foundational belief for me, that fertility challenges are a symptom of our body, and therefore there's likely an underlying cause rather than it being, oh, you just can't get pregnant. Mm-hmm. So I just really from there have done so many courses and so much research and just devoured books, and it's really a huge passion of mine to help other women and couples that are in this, are struggling with this.
Yeah, I love it. So many people that do this work, they've had their own struggle, and then that wake up call to be able to help others. Because as you say, you're going through it, and you're like, wait a minute, I'm just they didn't even know my name, and then you felt kind of demoralized and
Yeah,
disconnected and lost. So yeah.
definitely not natural.
No, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, for people that aren't familiar with Mercier therapy, maybe you could share with us what exactly that is.
Yeah. And, Mercier therapy was kind of the start into my career with working with fertility challenges because from a body worker perspective, it made so much sense. Like it's a deep abdominal massage. So I got to get my hands on them, and to touch the womb is just such an energizing and, it's just an amazing experience. And with the deep abdominal work, I manipulate the uterus and the ovaries. It really works to increase blood flow in the entire pelvic bowl, break down adhesions. So women that have endometriosis, things like that, any type of abdominal surgeries, painful periods, it's just, it's so amazing. And then it also helps to increase mobility. So our uterus and our ovaries are supposed to be able to move. And so many times in life, I suppose it's just living, really, all the activities that we do, or if you sit at a desk all day and you're in that position, our bodies are designed to be able to move and be fluid within and without. And if that isn't happening, it can decrease blood flow. And blood flow is everything when you're trying to get pregnant. So it's really great for that.
So is this kind of similar to the Arvego massage or not?
Yeah, and there's certain aspects. I'm not super familiar on the Arvego, so I don't want to say something that I don't know. But I do know from Mercier therapy standpoint, it's really deep work. It's not a spa treatment.
Yeah.
It can be pretty uncomfortable at times, especially in the beginning. It's 6 hours of the protocol is 6 hours of hands-on work. So it depends on the situation. I've had people come from all over the States and even from different countries, and then we can kind of adjust how we do those 6 hours. So I'm not positive or Vago works, but
okay, yeah, because Arvego, that you can go to their website. I can't remember the name of it. Her last name is Arvego, and she's the one that started that. Anyway, you can check out her website, arvego.com, I think, and you can find a list of practitioners in your area. As far as the Mercier therapy, is there a number of different practitioners, I guess, that are trained in this
yes.
in the US? Or?
Yep. So merciertherapy.com, and then you can get same as that you were saying with Arvego, you can get a list of practitioners and see where the closest one to you might be.
Okay, cool. So 6 hours. So do you do it over a course of 6 weeks, or how does that work? 6 hours of
yeah. So I suppose when somebody's local, I'll do an hour a week for 6 consecutive weeks.
Mm-hmm.
If they're coming from a distance, I've actually done the shortest amount of time I've done it in is an hour and a half a day for 4 consecutive days. So back to back.
Oh, wow.
And I've noticed no difference in the effectiveness of it. So that's super cool.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So as far as if you do it close together or over a period of time. And so people typically, you said with endometriosis, with irregular periods.
Right. Oh my gosh, yeah. It covers so much. So painful periods, so PCOS, dysmenorrhea, amenorrhea, sexual function. It's really all encompassing.
And what do they notice, I guess? So for someone I don't know, do you want to talk maybe about a success story there for us?
Yeah, I'd love to. I feel like one of my favorites that I've noticed is, and I don't think it's any secret that when you're trying to conceive a baby, the intimacy in the bedroom really takes a turn, maybe a nosedive sometimes. Mm-hmm. So when you have the increased blood flow, that desire is kind of awakened. And also that connection with your body, because I'm actually touching your womb. And I feel like when you're not getting pregnant and you want to, this disconnection happens where almost like you're blaming it on a part of your body that's not doing its job. And really, we're unified. We're a whole being. So to have that connection and then to notice those desires be reawakened. And then from that, noticing cervical mucus and when it's fertile. And you have an increase in that. So now just even from that aspect, you can see that the environment of the space of your pelvic bowl is more friendly to sperm and therefore to a baby.
Nice. So do you work out of a natural health clinic then, or where do you?
I'm independent. I have an office space, and I do probably primarily coaching, but then I also have a treatment room. So the people that want to do the hands-on work, then I have that available as well.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Great. Let's kind of switch gears a little bit. We're going to dig into seed cycling.
I love it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what exactly is seed cycling? It's one of those ones where I've, seen it around. And as I say, when you mentioned the topic a while ago, next thing you know, I started seeing it everywhere, which is the case with many things. But
Right.
yeah, maybe dig into that. What exactly is seed cycling?
Sure. Seed cycling is just like it sounds. I just love it because it's really connecting with the earth because seeds are from the earth. So different seeds, and there's 4 seeds in specific: flax and pumpkin, sesame and sunflower, and we can get more into how to use them. But those are the 4 that they help to boost estrogen or boost progesterone or maybe rid your body of excess estrogen. And you just use them in conjunction with where you're at in your cycle.
So flax and pumpkin, sesame and
Sunflower.
Okay. Great. So really, so who can benefit from this?
Oh my gosh, the list is so long. It's if you have painful periods or tender breasts or if amenorrhea, dysmenorrhea, let's see what else. Like if you know you have an excess dominant dis-ease in the body, like polycystic ovarian syndrome or endometriosis, this can be really beneficial to help to get your cycles on track so that you kind of have a better concept of when you're ovulating.
Yeah, so like menstrual cramps or short luteal phases, anovulation. Okay.
Right.
Awesome. And so then how does it naturally rebalance the hormones then? How does it?
Okay, so flax and pumpkin are when you use those in from cycle day 1 until ovulation, and they provide an estrogen boost for your body. Flax seeds are rich in lignins, that's always hard for me to say that, and they bind to excess estrogen in your body so that you can eliminate it easier. And that's kind of the part that helps with like the menstrual symptoms. Pumpkin seeds are really high in essential fats, which real healthy fats are super important to balance hormones in our body. They also are high in zinc, and that kind of helps to support proper estrogen and progesterone production. It helps to balance out ovulation. So then you would use flax and pumpkin from cycle day 1, which is the first day of your menstrual period, to when you ovulate. And so right around cycle day 14, if you are going by the typical or like by the ideal, I suppose they would say. And then after you've ovulated, then you switch and you now do sesame and sunflower. And sesames are also high in zinc, but that helps to boost progesterone. And then they have some of the lignins as well to help with the excess estrogen. Sunflowers are a good source of selenium, which is really great for liver support, which helps to kind of just cycle everything out of your body that you don't need. Also an essential fat for reproductive health.
Okay, so we got flax and pumpkins, so cycle day 1 to 14, so before ovulation, and then 14, 28 then would be the sesame and the sunflower.
Right.
Awesome. Yeah, great. This is kind of cool. So, and what do we do?
Okay.
How do we do this?
You use a tablespoon of each of them. It's best to do raw, organic, fresh grown. I like to keep mine in the fridge so just that they're fresh. If you're not going to be in a place that you can grind them fresh, it's okay to do it a couple days in advance. But to me, once you grind it, they start to lose some of their potency. So fresh ground, I like to use a coffee grinder. It seems to work really well. So the first 2 weeks, you do the flax and the pumpkin, a tablespoon each, fresh ground, and then you can put it in things like smoothies, oatmeal. You can just eat them too. I like seeds, so I think they're really good. And it's important to note that if you are seed cycling and you're in phase 1, and you don't really want to go to like a ball game and chew on a bunch of sunflower seeds, because it kind of sends this mixed message to your body. So just to avoid that. And then when you get to, and also too, we can say that if you aren't ovulating and you are trying to induce ovulation so that you can, know when you ovulate to get pregnant, I have this belief that we cycle with the moon. So, and this isn't across the board, so this is no judgment or expectation, but just kind of an idea. If you are trying to induce ovulation, you can start using flax and pumpkin seeds at the new moon. And then when it gets to be the full moon, switch. And then that kind of trains your body when you want it to ovulate.
So new moon, flax and pumpkin, and then switch over to the sesame and sunflower with the full moon.
Yeah.
Okay. And then to sort of back to, so you want obviously raw, organic, and fresh. You keep yours in the fridge, use the coffee grinder. You're going to take a tablespoon of each. When do we take those?
You can really do it throughout the day, although I find like our bodies work so great when we have some type of routine. So I typically, I haven't seed cycled now for a while, but when I was, in the midst of everything, I did do it, and I would generally put it in my oatmeal or in a smoothie. So I generally eat it in the first part of the day,
Mm-hmm.
and that worked really well for me.
Yeah, so kind of in the morning, kind of add it to that smoothie or throw it in the oatmeal.
Yeah, but I don't think you have to do it in the morning. I would just say, like, if you have a routine of doing it at a certain time, it makes it a little bit easier to actually incorporate into your life.
Yeah, like then when you want to start a new habit, kind of chain it on to something that you currently already do, which normally you should be having, well, hopefully you're having some breakfast. So then to add
Right.
it into there, yeah. And
Yes.
then, yeah, and then you said if you're, snacking on seeds throughout the day, that can kind of disrupt it. So it's to really not use seeds as your snacking time
Right.
during, when you're seed cycling.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so how long are you going to notice, like, would it take to notice changes with your cycle? How long do we need to do this for?
Oh, I love that question. It's really hard to pinpoint because every body is so unique. So just depending on what your list of symptoms are that you're trying to adjust, I love to tell people to have a journal. And in the beginning of your journal, write a whole list of your symptoms. And then you can kind of track and write down, did I do my seed cycling? And then you remember if you switched or not, instead of like, oh, shoot, did I do my seeds today? And then you can also see as you go along if you're starting to notice diminish in certain symptoms, or maybe they're gone altogether. It is because it's natural and our body takes a whole month to cycle.
Mhm.
I always like to tell women to expect 3 to 4 months before you notice some dramatic changes.
Okay.
And I guess I can even say that some women haven't noticed dramatic changes, although most women do. Some people notice it within the first week.
And what do they see? So someone, what maybe give us an example of someone you worked with who you've noticed something, or yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like probably primarily ones are wherever they start in their cycle when they get their when they've done it for a full month and then get their next menstrual period,
Mm-hmm.
they notice that they don't have the same pain or cramping, or even like sometimes some women will get that brown spotting before their
Mm-hmm.
period starts full flow, or even the brown spotting at the end, and those can be indicators of hormonal imbalance. So they might notice that isn't happening.
Yeah, so really kind of more around the period to start with on the first month, and then like the 3 to 4 months if you're dealing with PCOS or endometriosis and some other anovulation and things like that,
Yeah.
it
Might take a little bit more
take a
time.
little longer. But I guess to be patient with it, and then
Oh
adding
my gosh, yeah.
in the other thing. Yeah, what else would you be doing? Like obviously you're doing seed cycling, and then you're kind of looking at your diet and lifestyle changes around that. Is there anything else you recommend to women then, or?
Oh yeah, so much. I just love it. I think it's so great. I feel like our bodies are designed to be able to heal themselves.
Mhm.
But in saying so, we need to give it the tools to do so. So from my perspective, food is medicine. So I do really hit home on nutrition and how important it is to basically, if you're trying to change something in your body, to do kind of an elimination diet or an anti-inflammatory diet to really start to notice some changes. In folliculogenesis is when from your body from when the time it wow, that's a tough one. Okay, so it's the time from when your body recruits the egg to when it ovulates the egg. It's about 90 to 100 days.
Mhm.
So pretty much 3 cycles. So if you think about that and you actually start these changes and you stick with it for at least 3 months, your egg quality now has shifted. So
Yeah.
nutrition can be a huge part of shifting the quality of your eggs.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like average 90 days for the egg to renew itself. And then the life cycle, the sperm, 75 to 80, 70 to 80 days as well. So yeah, we always start our clients we do a food sensitivity test, and then we have them do the elimination diet while they're waiting to get the results of the food sensitivity test to sort of see, how your body is reacting to food. So,
I love it. Right.
and yes, and the top foods to eliminate would be dairy, gluten, soy, corn, eggs, and peanuts. And then you take them out for 10 days, and then you gradually reintroduce them over the course of 30 days.
Yeah, and I say sugar too, just because
Yeah.
if you have any type of sugar imbalance in your body, like those spikes and drops, it can really affect how your hormones are absorbed and
Absolutely. Yeah. The processed sugar part, that's part of it as well. Cause sometimes people are like, oh my goodness, I got to take out sugar. What am I going to do? But
Oh,
there's
yes.
lots of natural alternatives to choose.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm not
okay.
saying it's easy. I mean, it's simple. The concept is simple, but it's not always easy. But it's not about being perfect either. It's just about being really good.
Yeah, exactly. Doing the best you can every day. And the more you learn, the more you implement and make changes. So I guess
Yeah.
kind of with the seed cycling then. So really it's just like taking those seeds, trying it out for maybe probably 3 to 4 months, but you've got to do it daily and
Yep.
getting those raw, organic, fresh seeds, keeping them in the fridge. Anything else you can think of with seed cycling of
Oh, let's see. I think that's pretty much it. It's an ancient concept. It's nothing that I've developed, nothing like that, just something that I implement with my clients. And not always, just the ones that are, it really depends on what's going on with them individually and if they're willing and they're wanting to try. Like, I feel like some women are, give me more, what else can I do? And it too, if I'm stuck or if things aren't working how we'd hoped, this can be a really awesome boost. And also too, just to get those essential fats in, it's a great way to do it.
having those fats that are so crucial for creating hormones. So
Yeah.
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 And so do you have any resources, any books or website or an app or anything that you like to recommend to your
Ooh,
clients or that you
yeah.
obsessed with right now?
Okay. Let's see. Where can I start? One of my favorite books is It Starts with the Egg,
Hmm.
Rebecca Fett.
Hmm.
So good. There's so much information in there, and it just really brings to light how important egg quality is. I love that.
Yeah, really gets
Um,
into the science too behind it.
yeah. And if people aren't listening to this podcast naturally, there's so much awesome stuff on here. So this is a really great resource too. I love that you have this for people.
Oh, thanks.
Another really cool thing is the Think Dirty app. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
free app. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, kind of. I think is it associated with the environmental working group or is it
I'm not
separate?
sure if it is or not, but it's really similar to it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You could do the environmental working group too, like ewg.org. They've got the Skin Deep webpage where it kind of gives you the readings of what you're putting on your body or, even your cleaning products.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah. The Think Dirty one is great too. So yeah, can you kind of share with us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, so it rates beauty care products or cleaning products like home care products from a 0 to a 9 or a 10, and then it'll rate them based on allergies, organ toxicity, and for me, the organ toxicity ones, it's so obvious. Like if something's creating organ toxicity in your body, that's important to know.
Hmm.
And I always like to tell my gals to stay in the green. Green is 0 to 3, but 2, if you can find things that are just no higher than a 2, you're doing really good. And I think it's important because it's also a vote for our environment, because anything okay, well, I'll just say this. What is it? Since 1980, over 100,000 chemicals have been introduced to our environment. And for the most part, chemicals are endocrine disruptors. And if you think about, like, I know Aviva Ram talks a lot about adrenals and thyroids. It's one of our most sensitive organs, a huge part of hormones and producing hormones and hormone balance. And then if you think of all these endocrine disruptors now in our environment and affecting women, it's really seems like it's all connected somehow.
Yeah, and numerous scientific studies, have linked it to infertility. So, yeah, making the change to you're swapping out to natural personal care products,
Yes.
swapping your cleaning chemicals, looking at your swapping out plastics. It's a gradual process because it
Right.
can be expensive, right? And then, yeah, it actually took me ages to I did the food really early, and then the personal care. I don't know. I was holding on to my old stuff, and then I
Things you like, right? It's
yeah,
hard
and
to
then I started going to some of the natural stuff, and I'm like, oh God, this stuff doesn't even work. It's not even good. So it
Yeah.
took a while.
You gotta try a few things.
Beauty Counter is a good one, and then also I like Juice Beauty is my
Okay.
for
When I
skincare.
know, like on Think Dirty, they have recommendations as well. So
Hmm.
if you're looking at a certain product and it's rated high and you want to find something else, I do not believe that they're affiliates even, but I could be wrong on that. So they'll have these recommendations, and then you have several that you can look at and several different price points then. And, if something didn't work, then you can try something else. And
Yeah, it's super important to to look at those environmental toxins to see what's, under your water and all of that.
Yeah,
It's all
right.
layered in. Awesome. And you shared a success story with us there. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us? Another success story you can think of, or?
Oh yeah, I have a great one. I guess I'm just thinking of this one because I just heard from her a couple days ago. This is a client that a couple years ago she got in contact with me and we did a consult and then we didn't talk for a little bit. She moved out of the area and then I did a group coach type of thing and she got involved in that and she had PCOS and endometriosis and doctors were saying that it was going to be hard for her to get pregnant even with IVF, much less naturally.
Mm-hmm.
There was also male factor present. Her husband had some stuff going on. So she just always kept this positive attitude and she was willing to make the internal changes, external changes, and got pregnant naturally.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, it was so I just like, it's hard not to be like happy tears, just so
Oh
excited.
yeah, I know when someone tells me when they're pregnant, I know you're literally like crying with them and for them, and
Yes,
yeah, it's so especially
so
with
good.
PCOS and endometriosis and male
Yeah.
factor, all of those. So did she even did she go down the IVF IUI route or
Nope. Well,
or
and I
or
think
just
part of it was it's so expensive and
yeah.
their insurance didn't cover it. So they just felt kind of lost without it. So I think one of her comments to me was even like, well, you're my last hope. And I was like, oh, well, let's do this, girl. And I mean, she just really committed to the suggestions that I make
And
and
what did you suggest for her then? If you can dig into that.
yeah, a lot of nutrition, big part of that. But also, I guess I feel when I first started this, I was super into the science portion of it. So the nutrition, what goes on your body, all that kind of stuff, like the physical part, going for walks and yoga and all that. I love it. I love it. But I started to notice that there was this huge disconnect from like feminine energy and just our bodies in general. So I really incorporate a huge part of that. Actually, a big part of my work focuses on living today. Like, no, it sucks that you have fertility challenges and no, it's not going to be easy. But rather than, I spent years living 2 weeks at a time. So 2 weeks to see if I ovulated, then 2 weeks to see if it worked. And looking back on that, realizing I wasn't really living at all, I can't get that time back. So this awareness that there's so much joy to have in the moment, there's so much beauty to see. And we do so much work prepping for our baby when we're pregnant, right? Like we get the nursery ready and we buy all the stuff that they're going to need, but there's very little thought and care taken to prepping their home that they're going to be basically developed in.
That's right, 9 months.
Right. And the research shows that even something like the bacteria from our gut is the bacteria in the gut of our babies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super important. Like that's all about immunity. So to give our babies the best chance in being the healthiest baby they can be and prepping our bodies for, like I always like to say, you wouldn't go sign up for a marathon and just go run it. You would do the work for it. So I just feel, I don't know, like that emotional piece and connecting with yourself and really becoming your own best friend and understanding what your body's trying to communicate with you, because every symptom that we have is a conversation that our body's trying to have with us. And we're taught from such a young age, here, get on birth control pill. Oh, you're having symptoms. Yes, let's take care of those. We'll get rid of them. Rather than let's dig deeper. Why is this happening?
Absolutely. Yeah. That the emotional piece of this is, and sometimes people just go on the emotional piece. So it is important, we look at functional testing, look at personalized
Yeah.
diet. That's why it's a layered approach of all of it, not all at once, but yeah. And that feminine energy piece is really important because especially in the fertility journey, we're like push with our,
Mm-hmm.
with our like fighting, and we're a warrior and all that stuff. But, to go back into the softening feminine energy
Oh
that's,
gosh, right?
self-care and really, focusing on yourself too. Setting
Yeah.
boundaries.
When you think about it, and it's like I would do anything for my baby, but maybe anything also includes, pulling back a little bit and taking care of yourself. I love it. Just like you said, that's beautiful.
Yeah, take one step back to go 2 steps forward, 3 steps forward. So I love that. I love that approach, definitely. Awesome. So you have got a free gift to offer our audience here, our listeners. So you have a 20-minute discovery call.
Yeah.
They can take advantage of. You just go to Harrison, HARRISON, therapeutics.com. today&nbsp.com. Maybe just kind of share with the listeners what they can expect in the call.
Yeah, I love to connect with people before we actually book anything. So, well, one, for see if we get a feel for each other, so we can get a good feel if we're going to work well together. But also because I want to, I mean, being in this, when I was in it, it felt like I worked with so many people. One, from the Western medicine standpoint, it just always seemed like they could smell the desperation on me and they were kind of taking advantage of that. So I want to impart on people that I want more than anything for them to feel empowered, so that they take control and they are making the decisions based on their knowledge. So I want to have this conversation with them and see where we're at, and then share with them how I think I could benefit them. And I've actually told a couple of people that I'm not sure how I would be the best fit for you, but then I generally have some recommendations on places that they could go as well. But for the most part, there's a lot that I feel I have to offer. And I really end up connecting, as I'm sure you do too, on such a deep level with your clients.
Mm-hmm.
They're just such amazing people.
Yeah, it's so true. I know. We have a 6-month program, and it's like, okay, we got to make sure that we're actually going to like each other, because we're going to hang out together for 6 months. So make sure it's a good fit, right? It's got to be
exactly.
Got to feel good for both of us.
Yeah,
definitely. Awesome. So yeah, you can go to Lane's website, Harrison Therapeutics, check that out. And is there a link they got to click on there to find that, Lane, or where do they go?
Yeah, they can just contact me, and then through email, or they can call me too. And then we can set that up based on appointment availability and go from there.
Awesome. Beautiful. So yeah, thanks so much for joining us today, sharing your words of wisdom on seed cycling. Such a cool topic. I loved it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this. I love it.
Awesome. Great. Have yourself a wonderful day, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Hey there, Sarah Clark here. So are you struggling to have your baby? First of all, please know that my heart goes out to you. I support couples worldwide who are struggling with infertility to conceive and have healthy babies. Women like Rita, who gave birth to her beautiful daughter after following my fertility coaching system. Or Danielle, who after 2 failed IUIs was able to get pregnant after a supercharger fertility discovery call with me. So here's how you get my help for free. So I offer a free supercharger fertility discovery call. And on that call, I'll create a plan with you that is going to help you fast track your success. So this call is not for everyone. And I'm really picky about who I get to speak with. And I have a strict but totally reasonable criteria that needs to be met in order for us to move forward. So here's who I can help. So first of all, you need to be able to explore your infertility diagnosis in a new light. So this offers for people who are open-minded, they're coachable, and if you can do that and want to double or triple your chances at the fertility clinic or get pregnant, awesome. So let's get on the phone and chat. Also, you must be an action taker. So someone who's committed to seeing results, you're able to follow directions. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to do anything bizarre. But if you're one of those people who like to consume a ton of information, but don't like to spend time implementing and seeing results, then the call's not really for you. So I only want to spend time with people who are genuinely committed to their own success. So just click on the link in the show notes and apply, or go to fabfertile.com and click on the free consult. So it's a really short application that just tells you about your health, how long you've been trying to conceive, and how soon you'd like to be pregnant. So seriously, this is going to be the best time you've ever spent on your fertility. Looking forward to chatting. Talk soon. Thank you for listening to Get Pregnant Naturally. Seriously, it means the world to me that you're here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can be notified of upcoming episodes. I'm excited to offer you a special gift. If you are a U.S. resident, text FERTILE, FERTILE, to 345345. You'll be prompted to enter your email address, and you will receive our 3-day free fertility diet challenge. The challenge includes delicious chef-prepared recipes that are specifically designed to enhance your fertility. Download the recipes and try them this weekend. For U.S. residents, text FERTILE, FERTILE, to 345345. For non-U.S. residents, go to www.fertilitydietfreebie.com to access your special gift. That is Fertility Diet Freebie, FERTILITY, Diet, DIET, freebie, FREEBIE.com to access the 3-day free fertility diet challenge. And I love this quote by Dr. Mark Hyman. He's the medical director of the Cleveland Clinic Center for Functional Medicine and the chairman of the Institute for Functional Medicine. What you find at the end of your fork is more powerful than anything you'll find at the bottom of a pill bottle. Thanks again for listening. Until next time.